Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, my name is Rosie and thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to stop by my channel to check out our project for today. So today we're going to be making a gorgeous, absolutely stunning mini purse gift bag. The purse, when it's completed, measures 6¼ inches in width, 8¾ inches in height, and 3¼ inches in depth. Perfect for absolutely any occasion. Just change the theme of the scrapbook paper and you instantly have a tailored gift. Are you ready to get started? I know I'm ready, so let's get crafting. Okay, so some of the items that you're going to need is a piece of chipboard that is 1 by 6, so 1 inches by 6 inches. Another piece that is 2 inches by 6 inches. Another piece of chipboard that is 3 inches by 6 inches. 2 pieces of 5 1/8 by 6, again chipboard. Then you're going to need 1 piece of Tyvek paper. It's 1 inch by 11 inches. And for scrapbook paper, we're going to need a piece that is 12 inches by 2 inches. That's for the handle. You're going to need another piece that is 4 inches by 6 inches, and that's going to be for the liner. Then you're going to need another piece of scrapbook paper that is 8 inches by 6 inches, and that's going to be for the top of the bag. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of 8 inches by 8 inches, and that's going to be for the outer shell. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of 8 inches by 12 inches, and that's going to be for the inner shell. Okay, so now we're going to use both of our 8-inch by 12-inch. We're going to put it in the scoreboard on the 12-inch side. And we're going to score at 3 inches and at 9 inches. Then we're going to turn it once. And we're going to score at 3 inches. We're going to do the same thing to the other piece. Again, putting it in at the 12-inch side. We're going to score at 3 and at 9. Turning once, we'll score at 3. Okay, let's go ahead and put away our scoreboard. And let's bring in one of our 8 by 12 pieces of paper. And what we're going to want to do is on the left and right hand side corners, we're going to eliminate them altogether, but just on one page. So I've marked it with an X where we are going to remove those corners. Okay, I'm bringing in my finger blade and we are going to make cuts right at the score and just remove that. And I'm angle cutting. You actually don't need to do that on this piece here. So now I'm just going to remove the corner altogether. Again, making that cut right on the score mark. Now we're going to do the other side, right on the score mark, making that cut and removing that corner piece. So this is what you should be left with. That middle piece, that's what we're going to use to join them together. Now let's go ahead and bring in our second piece. Now we're going to make a couple of cuts. We are not going to remove them altogether. So again, the left and the right hand side, we are going to make angle cuts, and I'll show you here in a second, right on the score mark. And this is just to remove any extra bulkage. So there's one, and that frees up our flap. And we're going to do the same thing now to the left-hand side. So again, on the score mark, make your angle cut and get rid of that. So now what you have are 2 flaps on either side. That's going to be the side of our bag. Now I'm just removing about an inch from both flaps, again, just to remove the extra bulk. Okay, and now this is what you should be left with. Let's go ahead and we're going to join the 2 sides together. So we are going to add our double-sided tape all over that middle flap. And you want to add it to the one that we removed the side flaps all together. Okay. Pressing down firmly. And now we're going to remove just a little bit of the paper backing. We'll place it down as well as possible, lined up. Once we feel comfortable that it's lined up pretty well, go ahead and press that down, and then we can remove the paper backing. Then we can just flip up the page and remove all of the paper backing on the rest of our double-sided tape. Okay, just a few more. And last one. Okay, now we can go ahead and press that down firmly. Let's use our bone folder. And now, once that's pressed down firmly, this is the shape that you should be left with. Okay, now we just want to bring up our sides, and we're going to add double-sided tape to the flap on both sides. Okay, and let's do the other side. Okay, and one more. Okay, and just make sure to remove any excess tape. Okay, so this is the way it should look. Let's go ahead and bring up our flaps. The middle flap is what's going to go inside like that. We're going to want to add tape right there. So let's bring in our double-sided tape and adhere it to both of those middle flaps. Okay, a few more. And we'll do the other side. Adding all over. 2 more. And last one. Make sure you're using your bone folder or whatever it is that you have just to kind of press it down firmly. Okay, once that's all done, let's go ahead and bring up our sides as I'm showing you. Again, the middle flap is going to go on the inside. And then let's go ahead and remove all the paper backing. Now it's going to be really sticky, but let's go ahead and bring up our flap and make sure that the edges are perfectly aligned as much as possible. It is going to be sticky, but if you work the first top corner and let the rest fall, it should work out pretty well for you. Once we've done that and we know it's aligned, let's place it on its side and using our bone folder, just kind of press it down to make sure that the adhesive is adhering to the paper fibers. Then we will go ahead, we'll flip it over and do the exact same thing. Making sure our corners first are aligned and then letting the rest kind of fall into place. Press firmly. And then let's put it on its side and use the bone folder to really get in there and press down. And okay, so now that's our inner shell of our purse. So that's going to be the inside. Let's work on the outer shell. Okay, let's go ahead and bring in our 2 pieces of scrapbook paper that are 8 by 8, and let's make a couple of score marks. So we'll place it in, and I'm just going to make a score mark at the 1/4 inch mark. That's all we'll need to do to this. Let's put away the scoreboard. And that 1/4 inch mark is only to assist us on where to put our double-sided tape and make sure that when we align the second piece to the first piece, that we are straight. That's a great little tip. Okay, let's finish putting on our double-sided tape. Okay, now we're going to remove just a little bit of the paper backing. We want to press it down firmly first, but when we expose a little bit of the adhesive, only do a little bit at a time. Don't remove all of the paper backing. Okay, and now let's bring in our second piece, and we're just going to line it up. And that looks about right. And just press down firmly, and then remove the paper backing altogether, making sure that our pages are lined up. Okay, press firmly using our bone folder. Okay, now that's given us a longer piece to work with. So let's flip that over, and we are going to bring in our 3 by 6 and our 2 5 1/8 by 6 inch chipboard. We're going to add double-sided tape to everything, and we are going to go ahead and put down our 3 inch by 6 inch in the middle, right over the seam. Right there's the seam, and we're going to place it right in the middle. I'm going up about 1 inch from the edge, from the bottom. So let's go ahead and remove the paper backing from both of our longer or bigger chipboard pieces, the 5 1/8 by 6. And let's go ahead and do the other one as well. Oh, let me stand up. Okay, let's get rid of those paper backing. Might as well do them both at once. Okay, and last piece. Okay, let's go ahead and bring in our left. It doesn't really matter which one. Again, I'm using about 1/8 of an inch space between the middle and the one that I'm putting down now. It's about 1/8 of an inch. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Okay. Now, once that's done, let's use our bone folder or anything and just kind of go around the edges. That's going to help facilitate the paper to be folded. So again, we're just going to go easily. We're going to fold up all the edges. And there's that one. Now let's do the 2 shorter ends. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to miter cut all 4 corners. So we'll do that one and the second. Again, just making sure that you don't cut too close to the chipboard because then the chipboard will show. Okay, let's go ahead and add double-sided tape to all 4 edges. So there's one, pressing down firmly. Let's do the next one. And giving myself some extra tape there. And let's work on our last one. Okay. Now let's go ahead and use our bone folder, press it down well, and then we can remove the paper backing from all four sides. Okay. Let's fold it up, pressing down really well. Let's work on our next side. Fold it up. Okay. Make sure it's adhered well. And press down firmly, and our last side. Okay. Let's use our bone folder everywhere. Okay, now I'm just using my bone folder just to kind of go over those creases there to kind of help it in folding, and that's going to be our outer shell. Okay, now we're going to work on putting our purse together, the body of the bag, and you can see that I've brought in the inner shell and kind of sandwiching it in between our outer shell. Everything looks good. You want to take a peek and make sure everything looks good. Now we're going to add double-sided tape to all of the inner shell. See, I've placed double-sided tape. Now you can use glue if you want. I just happen to have my tape handy. Now we remove all of the paper backing, and we're going to line it up to the middle of our outer shell as best as possible. So it's going to be really sticky, but once you have it, just press down really well. Make sure that the paper fibers are catching. Let's bring up the side. Once we've done that, just put it on its side, and using our bone folder, make sure that it's pressed down really firmly. Then we're going to work on the other side. Bring that up. Once it is, we'll use our bone folder again. Okay, now let's bring in our Tyvek paper, and I've already placed double-sided tape all on the back. And just let's remove all of the paper backing, and we're going to adhere that to the middle of our scrapbook piece that is 12 inches by 2 inches. This is going to be the handle. Let's go ahead and fold that into thirds. Okay, bringing up the sides and fold it in thirds as best as possible. And okay, so once we've done that, we need to add double-sided tape to just one side, and that's what's going to close our handle. So let's add the double-sided tape, and then remove the paper backing. And close it up. Okay. Alrighty, using our bone folder, press it down. Okay, let's put that off to the side. And now we're going to bring in our scrapbook paper that is 8 by 6 inches. That's going to be the top of the bag. And first I'm putting down my piece of chipboard that is 2 inches by 6 inches. Using 1/8 of an inch space, then I put down my 1 inch by 6 inch. Making sure that my adhesive is really well adhered, let's go ahead and start folding the sides. We're going to do the same thing on 3 sides only. We're not going to do the bigger portion. Let's go ahead and miter cut those 2 corners. Again, making sure that you don't cut too close to the chipboard. And last one. Okay, now once that's done, we need to put down double-sided tape on 3 sides. So there's one. We'll work on that side. And last side. Okay. All right, let's make sure it's pressed down firmly on all 3 sides, and then we will remove the paper backing. We can remove it all at once, that's okay. So the first thing we want to do is we want to bring up our sides, pressing down firmly, and then we'll do the last piece there. This is going to be for the top of our purse. Okay, and that's what it should look like. Now we want to bring in some brads, and I'm just kind of going through my little dish that I have close to my desk, and I'm just looking for some colors that will coordinate. So we need 4 altogether, 2 for each side. So I went with a really pretty green and a pink. Okay, now we need to make a couple of score marks, or you don't have to. I like to just because it's better than guessing. So we need to make 2 score marks on both sides, one at a 1/2 inch and one at 1.5. So again, we're going to score at a 1/2 inch and then 1.5. Do that to both sides. And because the paper might be thick, you might want to flip the paper over and just repeat those scores. Okay. Once you have those done, we can put away the scoreboard, and we just want to add double-sided tape up to the 1.5 inch score mark. We don't want to go past that. So let's remove the paper backing on both sides. Okay, so the middle part right here where I'm showing you, that's going to be the top of the purse. We want to make sure that we place under the purse up to the 1/2 inch mark. So a 1/2 inch is going to go underneath, and then we fold it over to the top of the purse up to that 1.5 inch score mark. Press down firmly and just kind of press it back, and then we're going to repeat the process on the opposite side. So a 1/2 inch is going to go underneath. The remaining we're going to fold over to the top of the purse. So what you're left with is the handle, just like that. Okay, so now using our piercing tool, we want to make some holes. Again, we need to make 2 holes on both sides so that our brads can go through. And I'm just gauging. I do have a self-healing mat underneath, so that's why I'm not too concerned about placing my piercing tool all the way through. Okay. Okay, once we do that, then we can use our brads, and let's go ahead and just start placing them in the holes. I love this little dish, this little pink purpley dish that I have. It's magnetic. So I bought it for my glue tip because I was forever losing it. And I figured I could use that so that I always know where my needle is. So I can put it back in my glue because I don't want my glue hardening up. But I find it so helpful for other things as well, just like these brads. Okay, so there are my brads, and it gives it a really pretty finishing touch as well. Okay, now I'm just working on the last two, placing it through the hole. And once you open up on the other side, just make sure that you press it down and opening it up really well, because you don't want those popping out, which it would be hard to do, but better to be safe than sorry. Okay, so now our brads are on our handle. Let's go ahead and work on our liner. So I'm bringing in the 4x6, and you'll notice that it is shorter. That's okay, it's meant to do that. So let's go ahead and place double-sided tape all over the back of our liner. Now, just so you know, as a frame of reference, when you're looking at the handle, the top of the bag, you'll notice that you have chipboard on one side, empty space on the other. On that other side where there's no chipboard, that's actually going to attach to the back of your bag. Okay, now we're just making sure that it's nicely pressed down, and then we can remove all the paper backing. And last one. Okay, get rid of the garbage there. Okay, and let's go ahead now and place it right where the chipboard pieces are. Again, don't worry about the extra space where there's no chipboard. That's going to attach to our bag. Okay, so now I'm bringing in our shell, pressing in the middles there, and now let's put our bag on. So the part that has no chipboard, that's the back of the bag. And that's what it's going to look like. Okay, so now we need to place double-sided tape just on the area where there's no chipboard. Let's remove the paper backing. Now we're going to attach the top of the bag to our purse shell. I'm placing a little Velcro dot, but that's going to get all messed up a little bit further down. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we are going to put our bag right on top. So make sure that it lines up really well, and just firmly press down on the back. Now I'm just removing the Velcro because when I went to put my bag on, it got caught and it went sideways. Okay, now I'm bringing in some gems that I had. I picked these up at Walmart. One sheet is 1,300 gems, and I got a package of 3. I think it was $3.76. So I somehow want to bling this purse out. Kind of looking at it and kind of figuring out where can I place it. I think I was trying all sorts of different places, and I decided I wanted 2 rows. So I'm just peeling it back, taking off the paper backing, and I'm going to adhere it to the bottom of my front flap. Okay, and now I want to do my second row. I think that looks a little bit too much space in between them, so I take it off and I place it down again just a little bit closer. Make sure that they line up, and then just go ahead and place it on. Okay. Once you feel comfortable about that, just go ahead and place the rest of it. Okay. So once the gems are on, you just want to make sure that you press them down really firmly. This had a really good adhesive on it, so I'm not concerned about it popping up. That's why I didn't add additional glue to the back. Now I have this flower, and I thought that would just be so pretty. So I've heated up my glue gun, and I'm being very generous with the glue because I don't want it to pop off. This is a perfect little craft. I was FaceTiming with my grandson, so you can see us kind of, you can see my phone in the background. This is a great way for both of us to be doing our stuff and still being together. Okay, so I'm pressing down firmly, making sure that it's on there good, and there we have it. There is our purse gift bag. Now tell me that isn't absolutely stunning. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos with more DIYs, lots of fun crafting, please consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Alright guys, thank you so much again, and until the next time, keep it creative.